Welcome to GDs. And this is War of the Worlds, Season 2. Season starts with Emily in the alien ship, and as she touches the alien, she has visions, and she sees a woman standing on a shore with dead bodies floating all around. And as she tries to leave, she is stopped by the bots, and the alien ship takes off. And we move 6 months forward. The survivors in London have organized a resistance and are planning a counterattack on 3 bigger alien ships. And we see Sarah being in the base camp, taking care of the injured and the sick, while Tom has been fighting. Professor Bill Ward has been studying the aliens as they are finding their dead floating in the river, and he was able to determine that they are very similar to humans, with only slight variations in their DNA. And he thinks that they are very weak and their organs are failing. Thus they are using stem cells in the babies to cure themselves. And that is why they are so heavily dependent on the bots. And he has been developing a bio-weapon to wipe them all out, but he needs a live subject to test the virus. Meanwhile, Jonathan, Chloe, and Sasha have also made it to London and are stopped at an outpost as the teams are getting ready to mount an attack on the alien ships. They are able to disable the bots using the frequency, and they attack on all 3 locations simultaneously. But they find no one inside the ships, except in one of the ship, where they find an unconscious Emily. And as they bring her out, it turns out that the aliens have healed themselves, and it was an ambush, and a lot of them are killed as they try to make their way back. Ash also discovers that the aliens have a similar tattoo as Emily, and they allowed Emily to be taken. Emily, gaining consciousness, doesn't remember anything, but she is having visions where she remembers being told that she is one of them, and that is why she felt a connection from the moment they landed, and now she has to kill Bill Ward as he is creating a virus which will kill them all. Meanwhile, in the Alps, someone is being hunted as he tries to escape, and in the process, he is shot. But he was able to reach the observatory, and he is carried inside and is being treated. Catherine finds a notebook on him with strange formulas and calculations, and the colonel, seeing the tattoo on his hand, knows he is one of them and doesn't want the last of the antibiotics to be given to him. But Catherine, believing he can help, gives him the antibiotics. And as he regains consciousness, we learn that his name is Micah, and the formulas in the notebook are the key to moving objects through space and time. And he is looking for Bill Ward, as he thinks there is a better way for all of them to survive. But before Catherine could learn more, the aliens track Micah to the observatory and attack the compound. And in the fighting, Theo and the colonel are killed. And only Catherine, along with Sophia and Nathan, survived, while Micah is murdered by his own brother for betraying them. Meanwhile, Jonathan, not finding his family at the outpost, is quite disappointed. But Sasha feels that they are still alive, and they should continue looking, and they move forward towards the next group of survivors. While Bill, being suspicious of Emily, takes her hair sample and runs her DNA, and he is surprised to discover that Emily's DNA is almost identical to that of the aliens. And he tells Zoe the same, who is their present leader. And she wants him to test the virus on her. But Bill is against it. Jonathan, Chloe, and Sasha finally reach their group. And Jonathan is reunited with his family. And they are happy and surprised to see each other. Sasha and Emily also recognize each other from the visions, while Jonathan lets Sarah know that he is with Chloe now. Emily again has a vision of the leader of the aliens, Adenia, telling her that she is one of them, and the virus will also kill her, so she must kill Bill Ward. And Emily tries to stab Bill in his sleep, but she is pulled off by Kareem. And they lock her up. And Bill now chooses to try out the bioweapon on Emily. Back in the Alps, after escaping from the observatory, Catherine wants to find Bill Ward and to know his identity. They go to a library to search for him, and after a lot of efforts, they were able to find that he is a professor in London. And they start their journey towards London. And on their way, they find Victor, who was about to end his life, and they save him. Victor, in his own grief, was able to help out Catherine to deal with her grief of losing the colonel. And he agrees to help them to reach London, and as he managed to repair his car, they now have wheels for the journey. In London, Zoe wants to know if the virus is working, and Bill lets her know that Emily is getting sick. And in order for her to survive, she will need insulin, and they send out a search party to get the insulin. while Emily is not being allowed to meet anyone. The group, which went to get the insulin, is attacked. And few of them are captured, but they were able to procure the insulin. And it gives some relief to Emily. On the other hand, one of the captured women is released, but she had a bomb in her. And the aliens attack the base camp, in order to eliminate Bill Ward, as they were not sure if Emily will be able to do it. And our original group, along with Zoe, are able to escape. While the aliens are frustrated on not finding Bill Ward, and are now searching door to door for him. On seeing the condition of Emily, Jonathan and Sarah confront Bill, and he lets them know that he tested a virus on her, as she has a similar DNA to those of the aliens, and it's for the greater good. And she will now be okay, as the insulin is helping her recover. Sarah warns Bill that if he does anything like it again, she will kill him. While Sasha is also quite upset by it, and Chloe is not able to understand this connection between him and Emily. Sasha and Emily talk with each other and share the connection they feel with the aliens. Sasha also pushes Kareem's buttons. And he spends more time with Emily. In addition, he also hears Bill talking with Zoe that the virus is not lost, as it is present in a dormant condition in Emily's blood. And he can still synthesize it in his old lab. Sasha, feeling connected to Emily, doesn't want Bill to do anything to her, and he threatens Bill. And as Ash tries to intervene, he stabs and kills him. While Bill was able to make his way out of there. And in the morning, Zoe finds Ash dead, and Bill missing, and she thinks that Emily might have something to do with it. But having no proof, she can't really do anything. While Emily, feeling more isolated, with others doubting her, feels more connected with Sasha, and they end up sleeping together, just like their visions. While Bill finds another group of survivors, and them being soldiers, he asks them to help him reach back, and lets them know that he has developed a virus, which can wipe out the aliens. And one of the soldiers agrees to help him. Meanwhile, Chloe finds a bloodied knife in Sasha's bag, and as she confronts him, Sasha leaves. While their hideout is found by the aliens, but they manage to get away. And Bill, seeing the aliens enter the building, decides to head back. And on returning, he finds that the soldiers have captured an alien, and are beating her. Bill doesn't like this cruelty, and thus, he helps her escape during the night. And as Isla regains some strength, she tries to take the gun to kill Bill, but he stops her. Bill wants to know from her what they want, but Isla refuses to talk, while Bill helps her recover anyways. Bill also tries to contact Zoe over the radio, and was happy connecting with her, and knowing that she is alive. He tells her about Sasha, and asks her to bring Emily to his old lab, so that he can extract the virus. And Isla was able to overhear the whole conversation. On the other hand, Catherine and the group, heading towards London, are attacked by the aliens, and Victor sacrifices himself in order to give them a chance to escape. And they are able to reach the university, but they don't find Bill Ward there. Instead, they find a bot being studied on. And the person who was studying him was killed. Catherine starts going through his research, while Sophia listens to his vlog entries. Meanwhile, Sasha secretly meets with Emily, and they discuss their feelings, and he wishes to run away with her. While Jonathan and Tom go to look for insulin for Emily, but they are captured by the aliens, and they want them to reveal Bill's location. Jonathan was able to trick them by taking them to a false location, and they narrowly escaped. And Emily, getting to know this, is quite disturbed. While Zoe finds Emily alone, and forces her at gunpoint to come with her, and Sasha tries to stop her. But on learning that Sasha killed Ash, Emily is quite disappointed in him, and wants him to let her go. And Emily agrees to come with Zoe willingly, and the rest of them also accompany her. And as Bill was leaving, Isla tries to shoot him, telling him that he will be killing her people. And Bill points out her hypocrisy, as they have killed his wife, his son, and millions others. And Isla is not able to shoot him. And they all make it to Bill's old lab, and he informs Emily that she will be the host. And when she will be near the aliens, they will get infected. In addition, nothing will happen to her, as she will be having ample of insulin. And as Bill infects her again, she gets sick quite early, and the insulin is also not working. And Bill finds that she is pregnant, and thus the insulin is not helping her, and there is nothing he can do for her. Sasha also reaches there, and wants to take her to the alien ship, knowing that they could help her, and he knocks down Bill. Sasha takes Emily to the alien ship, and he is being helped by her mother. Bill wakes up, and he stops Jonathan from going after them, and tells him that Emily knows what she is doing, and she is going to infect everyone. At the same time, Sophia finds a clue to Bill's old university, and they also reach there. Catherine informs Bill that the aliens are humans from the future, and one of their kind visited her, looking for him. As he thinks there is a better way to break the loop, and she gives Bill his notebook and shows him his calculations. Meanwhile, Emily is stopped by an alien from moving forward, and he will only allow her on the ship if they provide him with Bill's location, but Sarah is not willing to do so, and Sasha kills her in order to save Emily and gives him Bill's location. And they are finally able to reach the ship, but both of them are not allowed to get out, and the ship takes off. While Bill and the group are attacked. Though they were able to get away, Bill learns that they were aware that Emily is infected, and thus they send her away. And when he learns from Chloe about a rare condition that Sasha had, and knowing that the present aliens are indeed humans who traveled back in time, he is able to figure out that the mutation in their DNA was indeed caused by the mixture of DNA mutation of Sasha and Emily because of their rare conditions. And indeed, they are the Adam and Eve of the race, which attacked them. Bill, knowing this, knows that nothing has changed, and it is how their race was started. And thus, he contacts Isla and provides her with the theories of Micah, and he wants her help in order to understand the calculation from his notebook. Bill is surprised to learn that Micah was the father of her children. But she doesn't believe him, and Bill gives her time to think. And when Isla learns that it was her own people who killed Micah, she agrees to help Bill, and informs him that Micah in his calculation calculated a date back in time where the time loop can be broken. But she doesn't know what they will have to do. Bill decides to go back to do whatever is needed. And as they head towards the ship, they are attacked by Adenia. Catherine stayed back in order to stop them, but she is killed. While Isla is able to feed the information, and she starts the ship before they could stop her. And as Bill wakes up, he finds himself in a hospital, and he gets to know that he was found unconscious, and his son Dan is checking on him. And he knows that he is back in time. Adenia and a few of her people who were in the ship have also made it back, and they are looking for Bill. While Isla also came back with a notebook, but she died. And as Bill checks himself out, he sees Emily visiting the hospital. Bill catches up with her, and Emily tells him about all the deaths she is seeing in her head, as if she is really there. Bill tells her that whatever she is seeing is real, and he apologizes to Emily before pushing her off the building and killing her. He informs his son that in the coming days, things will be written about him. But he should know that he did it for him, for her mother, and for everyone else. And he had no other choice. And on the day when the first signal of alien life was discovered, no such thing happened, and Bill is happy, knowing he succeeded. He later goes to Helen and apologizes, and lets her know that he regrets how things ended, and it was all his fault. While Catherine goes to see her sister Sophia, who is high as usual. And Kareem gets out of the truck's tank and connects with his loved ones. On the other hand, Zoe has visions of the future when she was with Bill and they were attacked. And she sees the news of Bill Ward killing Emily. And as the season ends, Isla's body is being photographed, while her belongings, including the notebook, which is all the time-traveling calculations, are being stored in evidence. Thanks for watching. And if you liked it, please subscribe.